Hello friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, I will try to introduce Erciş, the Pearl of the East, the city where blue and green meet. Enjoy watching. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Erciş, Pearl of the East. With the arrival of the Turks in Anatolia in 1071, the place where the present Selvihan town is located began to be used as the first settlement of the district. The district passed to the sovereignty of Seljuk, Karakoyunlu state, Ayyubi and Ottoman state, respectively. The district, which was occupied by the Russians in 1914, was saved from the enemy occupation on April 1, 1918, and joined the motherland. Its area is 2,115 km², and its distance from the city center is 100 kilometers. It is surrounded by Muradiye in the east, the Dilsabaz and Patnos in the west, Diadin in the north, and Lake Van in the south. Geographical location of Erciş. Erciş has a better geographical position compared to the provinces and districts in the region. Not too hot or not too cold. This mild weather can be evaluated as an advantage in terms of both soil products and human labor. Erciş can be considered lucky when compared to the surrounding districts. The fact that it is surrounded by hills, and its southern shores extend to Lake Van has given Erciş a geographical feature, which is a valley. The fact that the land, which is in the form of wide plains, is abundantly wet, has many streams and is established on the coast, has also positively affected its geography. In other words, the fact that provinces such as Agri, Erzurum, Muş, Bitlis are located in the Turkey-Iran transit route center makes the district an important trade center. In addition to the underground and above-ground riches, the distribution of land is also beneficial. With the spring season, the pearl mullet begins to migrate, and the hunting rush of the seagulls begins. There are approximately 200 bird species on the beaches of Selvihan, Kasımpaşa, Galagzi and Tekevler neighborhoods, which are frequented by migratory birds every year. The most important of these bird species is the flamingo. These birds, which flock to our district with the feeling of spring, take shelter on the beaches of Selvihan and Kasımpaşa for about 4 to 5 months. In addition, there are other important bird species such as egret, gray heron, crane, swan, and swan in the region. Erciş grape. Erciş grape, which is grown in many parts of the district, has a long history. On the stones found in Karataslar, it is stated in the cuneiform inscription that King Sarduri II, 764 to 735 BC, had vineyards established in Erciş, and those who steal grapes from the vineyards will be punished. The Urartian civilization is known for the grapes they have grown as well as stone processing. It is stated that all areas from the historical Zernaki Tepe locality to Haydarbi neighborhood were used as vineyards during the Urartians period, which is stated to have lived in the district between 600 to 900 BC and established 3 magnificent cities. The vintage of Erciş grape, which has small grains and a different sour taste, continues from the end of September to the beginning of November. Pearl mullet fish. It is an endemic fish species that can live in the salty and highly alkaline waters of Lake Van. Although its name is mullet, it is actually a member of the carp family. Until recent years, no one knew of its existence except for people living around the lake and some scientists. Because it was just one of dozens of species found in our inland waters. It is still claimed in many geography, zoology and fish systematics books that he does not live in Lake Van, but only in the parts of the streams pouring into the lake. Lake Van has come to the fore with its mythical monster, but it has only just begun to be heard with its fish. Every year, International Pearl Mullet Migration Culture and Art Festival is held in Erciş on behalf of INCI Mullet. In addition to extensive events, the festival also features the reproductive migrations of INCI mullet, which they transform into visual feasts, similar to dance performances. Pearl mullet migration continues from the end of April to the end of June. Average 20 centimeters paint and 70 gr has weight. It feeds on animal and plant plankton in the lake. It lives for a maximum of 7 years and begins to breed at the age of 3. It migrates to streams, forming herds to breed. A series of changes begin in the body of the pearl mullet, which forms large flocks at the mouths of the streams in the lake, so that it can get used to the transition from soda salt water to fresh water. Migration begins when the water temperature becomes suitable in streams. The fish that lay their eggs then return to the lake. While it can disperse up to 25 m deep in the lake in summer, it spends the winter in parts of the lake up to 70 m deep. The hatchlings that hatch in the streams also return to the lake within a few weeks and begin to live in the shallow, nutrient-rich coastal areas of the lake. The body shape of the pearl mullet is fusiform, and the head length is approximately 1/6 of the whole neck. The position of the mouth is terminal, rather oblique and not very open. Dorsal and anal fins D3-7 to 8 and a 3-9 to 11, respectively. Gill spines are generally 17 to 21, but can vary between 14 to 27. Dorsal fin usually begins where the ventral fin ends and often extends to the beginning of the anal fin. The pharyngeal teeth are in 2 rows and are arranged in the order of 5:2, 2:5. The number of scales on the lateral line varies between 55 and 92. The lateral line dorsal fin origin and the number of scales below the lateral line are 13 to 16 and 4 to 6 scales, respectively. Insi kefalinen vuket rengi sak dejiskender. Genelde hakim vuket rengi parlik gumusi olap, Sertler koyu grimsi yesel veya koyu gri ranked, Karen kismi parlik gumusi ranktider. Vuket palarla kapli olap anal ve ventral yazjekler arasinda pulses ber karina mefkutter. Ankak ozalikal juvenile fertlerd rank koyu gumusider ve arka kisimler yesalimsi gri ranktider. Ten kumden daha kukuk fertlerd yinlarda yuzanmis uc adet dar koya band buloner. 68, 12-16/6-9, 89, Salangak dikenleri 25 to 26 katerder. Vuket uzun lugu ba uzun lugunin 4, 6-5, for Katie, Vuket yuksekliginin 4, 9-6, 2 katerder. Omer sayisi 40 to 41 adetter. Gosler olduka iri, agiz orta bayaklukt ve terminal durumda olap 1 dobra sikikter. Bayakyokter, ventral ve anal yazjekler arasinda pulses ber karina mefkutter. Polar userind asiksia ranked noktaler tassadiklarindin parlikliklarini yittermislerder ve rank gumusi yesalimsider. Erciş Emrah. Erciş Emrah is both the hero of a famous love story, who lived in Erciş in the 17th century, and one of the famous poets of Turkish folk literature. It is seen that the pseudonyms Emrah, Miserable Emrah, Dirtly Emrah, Asik Emrah, and Kul Emrah are used in his poems. It is not known whether these pseudonyms were used by Emrah or by the Medes. The story of Emrah and Selvi/Selvihan is known in a wide geography among Turkish folk stories. In the stories, it is stated that Emrah is a lover who goes on the road to meet his lover named Selvi/Selvihan and endures separations and pains. The second important hero of the story, Selvi/Selvihan, is the daughter of Erciş Kale Bey, Miraglu Ahmet Bey. A pure folk Turkish is dominant in Erciş Emrah's poems. His speech is sincere. In his poems, he expressed the natural beauties of the geography he lived in, what he wanted to tell, his love and longing for his lover in a half-assed language. Another important issue is the confusion between Erciş Emrah and Erzurumlu Emrah. As a result of the researches, it was determined that Emrah from Erzurum lived in the 19th century, and Erciş Emrah used Turkish in his poems, while Emrah from Erzurum used a mixture of Arabic, Persian and Turkish. Again, as a result of many determinations of the researchers, these two folk poets, who have a time difference of 200 to 250 years, were prevented from being confused with each other. Many poems belonging to Erciş Emrah are composed by different artists and read on radio and TV. Some of these are as follows: I said, if a brave man goes abroad, I said, I stopped by the lake from dawn, a Nazanin came to me, the head of our Sahara, I came from abroad, I saw a beautiful today, Guinea was spring, my heart was excited, I went out. I have seen to the high, bad Isaba, if you love Mevla, Qatar has become Qatar cranes gone. Erciş Toki earthquake housing. In less than a year, 15,341 earthquake residences were built by Toki in Van Central and Erciş districts, which were destroyed by the 7.2 magnitude earthquake. The disaster houses, the foundations of which were laid 1 month later to solve the emergency sheltering problem that arose after the October 23, 2011 Van earthquake, were completed in a short period of 10 months and delivered to the disaster victims. A total of 17,222 residences were built within the scope of disaster houses. In order to meet the housing need in question, Toki purchased 6,000 containers right after the earthquake and prepared the infrastructure for 12,429 containers placed in the region with the support of other institutions. Erciş Toki earthquake housing. In less than a year, 15,341 earthquake residences were built by Toki in Van Central and Erciş districts, which were destroyed by the 7.2 magnitude earthquake. The disaster houses, the foundations of which were laid 1 month later to solve the emergency sheltering problem that arose after the October 23, 2011 Van earthquake, were completed in a short period of 10 months and delivered to the disaster victims. A total of 17,222 residences were built within the scope of disaster houses. In order to meet the housing need in question, Toki purchased 6,000 containers right after the earthquake and prepared the infrastructure for 12,429 containers placed in the region with the support of other institutions,